here we are again with Savour Kilkenny Food Festival Online, and I hope you made the puddings last week. Today I'm going to deal with some veg. One veg you can freeze and the other one you could prep up a day or two beforehand. So it's, and the important thing about Christmas is, and putting Christmas together, is to have everything prepped up. Have your shopping done early, don't be the last minute sort of doing this, and make sure you have your veg ordered 2 or 3 days beforehand, the turkey, whatever else that you have, because the thing about it is that all you should really be collecting on Christmas Eve is a jar of cream or a bottle of cream or something like that. So today, first of all, what I'm going to make for you is red cabbage. Now this can be frozen, it's absolutely amazing. So we're using red cabbage, we're using beetroot. Now this is cooked beetroot, but if you're using raw beetroot, you put in the very beginning. Using onion, some orange rind, some brown sugar, and some orange juice there as well, and some red wine vinegar. So all of that. So first of all, I'm going to put the butter into the pot here to melt it, and then we're going to add the onion and let that cook for a few minutes. And this is a very, very simple dish. Okay, so bring the roll up there. Okay, you see how that's, when that's beginning to bubble up there and all the butter has melted and you've cooked that down for a few minutes, you can then start adding your ingredients. So the next thing what you're going to add is your red wine vinegar. It's going to go in. Then the orange wine is going in. The brown sugar is going in. And the cabbage is going in. Now chop it fairly finely. If you have any kind of a food processor that will chop it for you, do it. If not, actually you'll have to just go on and do it yourselves. Just make sure you have it nice and fine. I'll actually show you that. See how fine we have that chop there. See that bit? You don't need them too thick. You just need them fine. Okay. Need a couple of cinnamon sticks as well. I'm going to put in that with it. Just going to stir it around here. And I'll bring that over to you there now. Okay, so you're going to start, you're going to put in 2 cinnamon sticks. You're going to put in your orange juice here as well, that we had earlier. And we're going to put on that cook. Now to take nearly an hour to cook, cook it nice and gently. Now you can make it 2 days beforehand and leave it in the fridge if you want to, or you can make it next week and you can actually use it in, take it out on Christmas Eve or something like that and sort of use it. But it freezes really well. So after a couple of hours, just make that right, we have this here. It's cooked down to this stage. And at this stage then, I forgot to put in the apple, sorry. There's apple going into the original one as well that I left out. If you don't have apple, it's not the end of the world. So into this one here, what we're going to put in is, we're going to put in the beetroot. Now the beetroot has been cooked, so you put in this about 5 minutes before it's finished, okay? You see that? Look at the lovely redness of it. And the beetroot even makes it redder when you put it into it. And then the last thing what I'm actually going to put into that is, I'm going to put some horseradish sauce. And I know sometimes people say, are you using horseradish sauce in that? Yes, I am using horseradish sauce in that. So, there we go. I'm just going to mix that sort of in there. And that is our lovely red cabbage. Get a nice bowl there now. I'm going to put it into it. And the thing about red cabbage, you can eat it at any time of year. It doesn't have to be Christmas to, oops. There we go. Just put it there. Okay, so there's our delicious red cabbage, and we had cinnamon sticks into them, so you can put the cinnamon sticks just back over top, or you can discard them, whichever you feel yourself is most appropriate. So we have that, and now we're going to get on to doing our Brussels sprouts. Now the thing about Brussels sprouts there's lots of things about Brussels sprouts. Oops. Brussels sprouts can be absolutely beautiful and they can be absolutely horrible. So decide what way you want your Brussels sprouts. The thing about Brussels sprouts is that you have to have them in, I have them in cold water here, but you're just going to put boiling water in on top of them, put them on the cooker, and you're going to cook them then for about 7 to 8 minutes. That's as much as you sort of want to cook them. So what we're going to do then is, we have a saucepan here, and into that I'm going to put some chilli, which I've chopped really, really, really finely. I'm going to put in some onion. I'm going to put in some garlic. Okay, and then we're just going to use a little bit of butter. Okay, a little bit of butter on that there. So we're just going to put butter into it here. We're going to bring it over to the cooker. So we're going to just let it melt down. And here are your Brussels sprouts. So what I have here would do 2 or 3 portions. A net of Brussels sprouts will probably do 4 people, sort of. So you have them here. Now make sure they're not overcooked. You can cook those the day before if you want to. Boil them for the 7 or 8 minutes. Blanch them off in ice cold water, and I mean ice cold water. Put ice into a bowl and put some water on them to stop the cooking process. And then what you're going to do is you're going to drain them off really well, dry them off with a tea towel, and then cover them in cling film and leave them again in a cool place. I'm always saying about Christmas and, you know, where do you put stuff, because every fridge is full, every drawer is full, and as years go on it becomes fuller sort of along the way. So if you have some place that you can actually store these, this would be absolutely fantastic. Or an old fridge in some part of the house that you don't use or something like that. And so now what we have had here is our chilli, our gin, what else do we, chilli and onion and in there. So we're going to add that to it. It'll just take a few minutes just to get this. So we're going to get a spoon down there. Spoon in here. Then I'm going to bring these back to the here, and I'm going to put that in on top. The chilli gives it a lovely bit of heat. The onion gives a bit of sweetness. I use shallots for this here because shallots are sweeter than. Oh, the Spanish onions are quite nice as well. So either of those are actually quite good. So there we are. So here we have our lovely Brussels sprouts, with our chilli, with our onion, and with our garlic. And again, when you're serving these, just reheat them, just plunge them into boiling water, strain them off within 2 or 3 minutes, and then you're going to cook up your chilli and your onion. And you can have that done the day before in a separate saucepan. So you just put the 2 together, and that will give you an absolutely beautiful dish. I was going to put them into a bowl, but I think we'll actually see them in this here, because the thing about it is that it's a lower bowl. So there is your 2 veg. There are your 2 veggies now, and all you really need is a few roast potatoes. Speaking of roast potatoes, as I'm sort of on this, I'll just say to you, make sure if you want to do your roast potatoes, you can boil them the day before, but if you're going to boil them the day before, when you boil them for about 10 to 15 minutes, 10 minutes nearly better, and then take them out and put them on wire rack, because if you leave them near one another, they tend to get dark and grey. So make sure that they're dried sort of that way. And the other thing as well, when you are roasting potatoes, make sure you put in a good bit of butter in with the whatever fat you have that you're going to use, because it does give it flavour. And if you give them a shake around as well, it'll add a nuttiness to it. So next week I'm going to be back with mince pies, and we're going to, we will tell you about the mince meat. I'll be making mince meat during the week, and we will actually have it for you. So until then, take care.